Why, hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another extreme weather reaction video. This is a rabbit hole I never expected for us to fall down, ever. Never. But we've been going down a lot of random rabbit holes recently, and they've all been spectacular. Now, I'll be honest, this has been a difficult one. It's been emotional, it's been devastating, it's been tough, and it's been hard at times. But it's been so informative, and discovering this side of the world and these monsters, these beautiful monsters that just terrorize so much of the planet that me here in the UK, I can't even begin to imagine their existence, has not only been amazing, it's been heartbreaking. And I'm enjoying this rabbit hole so much, as difficult as it's been to watch some of these videos, because my word, they have been heavy. It's been incredible learning and watching so much and discovering these amazing channels and storm chasers and just seeing the content they produce and the good that they do. It's truly been spectacular. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you who are supporting this random extreme weather journey that we're on. And yeah, I'm really enjoying where you guys are taking me with this, which leads us to this video. How I pick all of my videos is I go to the comment section, I click filter by subscribers only, and I see whichever comments get the most likes, and that's simply what I react to next. And I'm gonna do that on this video as well, so please make sure you give me tons of recommendations and make sure you subscribe before you do so. Huge shout out Swiggle Studios. I've checked out a bunch of their videos and everything they do is incredible. This is another one from them that seems to be the one you all want me to do next. It is the largest tornado outbreak in history, 2011 Tornado Super Outbreak. Now, apparently, this happened not long before the last video we reacted to, the Joplin disaster, which means 2011 was just a monster of a year for tornadoes, for devastation, for this kind of destruction across America. I can't believe it. But this seems to be the most requested video, and you guys really want to react to it, and I've heard that this is a heavy one as well, so let's strap in for this. Anyway, please keep the recommendations coming. Please like and subscribe. Huge shout out Swiggle Studios. Enough of this long intro. I'm kind of just stalling here if I'm being honest. Let's jump into my first time ever reaction to the largest tornado outbreak in history.
The weather in the U.S. state of Alabama was actually quite nice.
I hope you had a good Easter holiday. Looking good out there as we watch the sunrise here in a few minutes.
The sun was out, it was 80 degrees, spring was in the air.
Wait,
however,
this
there was
was
much
the day
talk
everything
of a
happened?
potential major severe thunderstorm and tornado outbreak heading towards the state.
Oh, okay.
The weather is quiet this morning, but it could turn very active over the entire southeast, especially by midweek.
Wednesday.
How scary is it that it goes from this to like a tornado? Like, it's just, you're just like waking up, hello everybody, good morning, and just like a normal day, and it ends not.
Unfortunately, tornadoes in the forecast. Main time frame from 2 p.m. in our western counties to around 8, 9, 10 o'clock in our easternmost counties.
God, I'm already
The
worried about
meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma, noted major atmospheric instability throughout the central and south U.S. In fact, major storms were already beginning to erupt over the states of Arkansas and Texas, and this system was heading towards the east into even more favorable conditions for tornadogenesis, right over the state of Alabama. For this reason, the National Weather Service on their Day 3 convective outlook issued a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk for severe weather and tornadoes for Wednesday, April 27th in Alabama. The report...
I didn't realize it went that far like down. Everything we sort of checked out has been a bit more the other side, you know, like Oklahoma and Texas and what, Tennessee. Alabama's a bit more to the East Coast, right, the east side of America. How the tornadoes just come all over America then?
Stated this: yet another day of potentially very significant severe weather is expected Wednesday and early Thursday, April 27th and 28th, with elevated threat for a tornado outbreak evident across the Mid-South and into portions of the central Gulf Coast states. However, the people of Alabama were not too worried. They were familiar with severe weather and a few occasional tornadoes during the...
This is what I keep hearing from you crazy freaking people in our comment section. Like, tornado, you know, whatever, man. We just see it like, there it is. Whatever, I still gotta go to the grocery store.
spring, so many didn't give the warning much thought. Little did they know that
People
this
out of Alabama
storm would be different. This storm would be one of the most insane, catastrophic
That can't be real,
thunderstorms
what we're looking at
in
there,
not
can
only
it?
Alabama's history, but in the history of the entire world.
There it is right there. And there, folks, is the tornado.
Yeah.
That is the tornado.
Is a significant tornado situation.
Get in your safe place
what
right
size
now.
were
We have
these
a tornado
tornadoes?
on the ground.
Neighbors for years made homeless.
They're like an
in
EF5.
instant.
That was huge.
This will be a day that will go down in state history.
I don't understand. I don't understand. What size was that tornado? That looked like the Joplin one. Man, he's
By
like
the next
opening
day,
this up
Tuesday,
like a
April
freaking
26th,
Halloween.
things were beginning to look even more
Having the
alarming.
lightning effect on the windows.
And the
was
meteorologists at the National Weather Service took note. While the Day 2 convective outlook still only had a potential for severe weather at a level 4 out of 5, moderate risk, they noted various atmospheric ingredients coming together, all that could lead to a dangerous weather event. They issued this statement: outbreak of severe thunderstorms possible. Indications are strongly suggestive that a major outbreak of severe thunderstorms commencing tonight across parts of the Ozark Plateau / Lower Mississippi Valley will continue and expand northward and eastward toward the Appalachians during the day Wednesday. This will
Random thing. When it says Ozark Plateau, is that Ozark like the show Ozark? Like, is that the same sort of place or is it different?
include the potential for
This is where I'm,
long-lived
like, imagining.
supercells capable of strong tornadoes and organized storm clusters capable of strong, damaging wind gusts. Some National Weather Service meteorologists were also noticing some similarities between this tornado outbreak setup with one that occurred nearly 40 years ago. Way back in 1974, an extremely rare major tornado super outbreak occurred over the southeast and central US. One could call this event a storm of the century. On that day, 330 plus lives were lost when at least 149 tornadoes tore through the south central US. It was absolutely devastating. This was an event that every meteorology student studied in school. Some thought that such an event would never happen again.
What?
You see, the atmospheric conditions needed for this storm of the century to occur were extremely rare, but similar conditions were beginning to come together nearly 40 years later on April 26,
This is the part I enjoy. And I really struggle when I say words like that, because I don't mean to say that I'm taking any kind of enjoyment out of like any kind of suffering. But it's the science behind it I find so interesting. Because for me, I've always just imagined a tornado just like, there it is, tornado. Like that's it. Learning about how they form and how they're created and this, I find so intriguing.
2011. Meteorologists were seeing many patterns and similarities to the 1974 super outbreak. Could it happen again?
It's crazy how storms make America look small.
The
don't they?
threat of a
Like, when you see
potential
how
large
much they
tornado
cover.
outbreak started to get picked up by the media.
Considering how
We're
big
expecting
that
some long
land
hours.
is.
We are. This is as I've used the term before, a high-impact weather event. It's going to affect practically every portion of our viewing area, and we are talking about a threat for tornadoes. You know, if you ever listen to me do TV weather, most of the time I don't use the tornado word specifically. I'll say strong to severe storms. These are the ingredients that produce tornadoes, and those tornadoes that are the big ones that do significant damage.
The media was
That is a good point. This is something I have noticed a lot, actually. When people are like predicting the weather or forecasting the weather, they do avoid saying tornado. Unless they actually see one, you never hear them say that word.
very much hyping up
Why
the
is
storm.
that?
In fact, many schools in Alabama had even canceled classes for the next day. And unfortunately, tornadoes were beginning to form earlier than expected. Weak tornadoes were already forming in Louisiana and Mississippi around midnight, and this first wave was expected to reach the high-risk area over Alabama in the middle of the night. Night or nocturnal tornadoes are terrifying, and they're 2 times deadlier than their daytime counterparts. This is because 1, you're sleeping, and 2, you can't see them. Obviously, they slowly creep up on you from the shadows. Many in Alabama went to bed that evening with the horrifying thought of being awoken by sirens in the distance in the middle of the night, warning them of an approaching tornado. And around 3 a.m., their fears...
It is actually crazy how, for a lot of the ones we've seen are daytime, and then you get like rain-swept ones, which are just a whole monster in their own regard. But the idea of like a nighttime one, you go to bed, tuck yourself in, you like, how many people miss those alerts, don't hear them? And then it's just like this monster in the shadows thundering towards your house. It's honestly terrifying.
would become reality when the first tornadoes of the outbreak began to form. Unfortunately, the first wave of storms with embedded tornadoes were already organizing around 3 a.m. On radar, this first wave appeared as a large squall line / bow echo. This entire bow echo region is a threat featuring lots of lightning, high winds. However, it's the areas of rotation within this line of storms that have the high potential for tornado formation. During this time, meteorologist Jason Simpson of ABC 33/40 out of Birmingham went live to cover the various tornado warnings that cropped up.
I'm Jason Simpson live in the ABC 3340 Storm Alert Center. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for Pickens County and Lamar County until 4:15 this morning because of a cell that is still just a little bit southeast of Columbus, Mississippi.
One such warning would become the first significant tornado of the outbreak. The tornado itself formed around 3:41 a.m. and lasted about 30 minutes as it tore from Gordo to Samantha in Alabama.
Random question. Is it luck or plan that keeps people away from the tornadoes when they how do I word this? This is your land, and you have houses here, houses here, houses here. But tornadoes always seem to, luckily, form just in the middle of a field and just go through all this country. Why is that? Is it just is it because you guys know where to build your houses? Like, okay, well, bad place, good place. Or is it just there's so much land that's just what happens?
Thankfully, there were no fatalities, but several homes were heavily damaged and large swaths of forest were completely destroyed. This first significant tornado was an EF3 with wind speeds near 140 miles per hour. In the 4 o'clock hour, several other EF3s formed. One such EF3 was approaching the town of Cordova around 4:20. It was here that dozens of homes were destroyed, with many sustaining significant injuries. It was a strong tornado. However, it can't even begin to compare with what was to come. This was just the beginning. At 5:30 a.m., Chief Meteorologist James Spann showed up at the studio at ABC 3340 and got to work.
It's 5:40. A lot of you are just waking up now to the sirens going off. Let's show the reflectivity. And let me just say, anybody in advance of this line, I know there are specific tornado warnings for small spots within the line, but anybody in advance of this line could see winds easily over 50 or 60 miles an hour.
James Spann would later become legendary for his excellent and professional coverage of the tornado outbreak. He would be live on air for pretty much the entire day. At this point, many schools in Alabama were either delayed or canceled for the day. On top of
So, to be honest, I was actually wondering, because when he was showing the image and he was explaining it, I was like, if no one explained that, it just looks like gibberish to me. It's like, what does this mean? Where's the danger? But he's just like, this is the line. Anyone in front of that line over here, danger zone. And it's like, oh, thank you.
Of that, many parts of Alabama had their communication infrastructure completely destroyed by the earlier storms, making it hard for students to even know if they had class to begin with. This would also become problematic during the main tornado sequence later in the day. Finally, after a weaker supercell dissipated in Marion County in western Alabama, things began to die down. Remember, this first wave wasn't really the main event that everyone was worried about. This was just a small teaser for what was to come. At 7:55 a.m. local time...
That's actually insane. Tornadoes literally already ripping through people's neighborhoods and towns, destroying things, creating these school and weather alerts. And it was just one they weren't even really expecting. It wasn't the one they were worried
The
about.
National Weather Service upgraded their Day 1 convective outlook to the highest possible level, a super rare 5 out of 5 high risk. The summary stated this: dangerous tornado outbreak is expected from late morning into late evening.
They use the word.
The scenario appears favorable for multiple long-track supercells with the potential to produce intense/damaging tornadoes in the high-risk area. Now, real quick, I do want to mention that on April 11th,
What do you do, by the way? Do you just get the fuck out of there? What do you do? If you're in your home and you hear that, what's your course of action? Let me know in the comments section.
2006, the National Weather Service also predicted a level 5 out of 5 high-risk area, this time over Louisiana and Mississippi. And nothing happened. It was a bust. You see, when it comes to tornadoes, sometimes you have bust days. The atmosphere is complicated. Sometimes the conditions can actually be too unstable, leading to a massive squall line, which actually hurts the formation of isolated supercells. And you need isolated supercells for strong tornadoes. These sort of things are just very difficult to predict. Sometimes they can end up being a bust. Unfortunately, that wouldn't be the case this time.
Very well put together video, by the way.
Over western Mississippi, the deadly line of severe storms and supercells began to take shape. By 11:30 a.m., the National Weather Service issued this tornado probability forecast. This map shows an insanely rare 45% chance of a tornado within 20 miles of any given point within this area. They stated this: this system is very organized and confident.
Nearly a 50% chance that there'll be tornadoes within 20 miles in that area. And that's rare. Jeez, man.
Confidence is high regarding the potential for a major tornado outbreak this afternoon and evening across the central Gulf Coast states and Tennessee Valley. This then led them to issuing a rare PDS, particularly dangerous tornado watch, at 1:45 p.m. This PDS tornado watch was to last from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. that night. And right at 2 p.m. in the early afternoon, just as predicted, things began to heat up. Little blips quickly formed into massive supercells, the parent thunderstorm that produces tornadoes. While we have mainly focused on Alabama, let's go back and take a look at the high-risk area. As you can see, it also includes portions of Mississippi. And it's in Mississippi that we have our first extremely powerful tornado of the outbreak. Earlier, around 1 p.m., a supercell began to form over Jackson, Mississippi. By 2, this storm had intensified significantly and formed the classic supercell hook echo on radar. Seeing something like this is always a red flag for tornadoes. This prompted the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning over central Mississippi. Then at 2:30, a funnel dropped from the supercell north of Philadelphia. While weak at first, it quickly intensified to an EF4, with wind speeds over 180 miles per hour. But the tornado would not stop there. It continued to strengthen as it destroyed forests and dug trenches into the ground down 2 feet deep. The wind strength needed to do something like this is insane. And it was enough.
It dug down. It dug into the freaking ground. What? Have we seen that before? I know that we saw one rip up tarmac, but I don't know, have we ever seen one like dig down? Is there, what the, how? How did it, how?
Evidence for the National Weather Service surveyors to later certify this tornado as an EF5. The highest level possible with wind speeds around 205 miles per hour.
That is insane.
It was the
Look at
first
that tree,
EF5
by the way.
of the outbreak. This first major significant tornado of the outbreak lasted 30 minutes until it finally weakened and dissipated near Mashulaville.
30 minutes.
This tornado claimed 3 lives. Any other year, this tornado would be a significant event. People would talk about it for
30 minutes. This EF5 just tore across the land, ripping up trees, houses, killed 3 people for 30 minutes. Did you see how much land it covered as well?
decades. However, since this occurred during the super outbreak, many people don't even remember it. It has become a completely forgotten EF5. Just 5 minutes after this tornado dissipated, a new tornado formed over Marion County, Alabama. This tornado would eventually become an EF5, but instead of claiming 3 lives, this tornado would end up killing 71. Back at ABC 3340, James Spann and Jason Simpson were covering a significant EF4 tornado near Coleman. This would be the first EF4 of the outbreak over the state of Alabama. While there are tons of insane TV meteorological coverage moments from this outbreak, the first might be during the Coleman Skycam footage at ABC 3340.
And gosh, goodness gracious, let's take a look at those cloud bases. Are you kidding me? And you know,
I cannot believe we can see that far away.
When you're a TV meteorologist and you see rotation or a hook echo on radar, you think, oh, there's potentially a tornado on the ground right there. But you don't know for sure. You can only see indications via radar. But when you pull up a Skycam that 100% shows the tornado tearing through a forest, things become very serious.
Few minutes.
Look at that. The funnel's getting tighter.
I see it there. Okay. Again,
Let's get tighter in on that thing. I'm going to take the higher compression off so we can move faster. That's a tornado that's got to be on the ground. Look at that.
We got a tornado down. This is a tornado emergency for the city of Coleman.
Yeah, and I think at West Coleman, you are in most danger of this. Look, I can see the debris cloud at the bottom of it. That is west of downtown Coleman. If you're anywhere from Kugler Creek to downtown Coleman, we can't. I mean, it's obvious. You've got to get to safety.
At this point, the National Weather Service issued a rare tornado emergency for Coleman, Alabama. This is a step up from a tornado warning. So you have
Gosh, man. It's so weird. It's the panning to it, isn't it? It's the panning. Like, you can tell that they're just, like, surprised in their voices, can't you? The way those two guys, these are professionals, meteorologists. They do this all the time. They live and breathe weather. Pan to it. And their voice, you hear them jump and stutter. You hear them confused. It's the voices that are the scary part. The tornado is scary, but the way they react to it, people who live and breathe weather, people who know, like, it's like how you always look to someone to see their reaction to know if you're in shit, right? Like, if you're in any if you're on a boat and you're out at sea and there's big waves and you're like, okay, and you look to the captain of the ship and they're like, you realize this is bad. But if they're like, you're like, oh, okay, this is fine. That's an example of things being bad.
tornado watch, tornado warning, and then finally tornado emergency.
So this is
the Coleman tornado would end up claiming 6 lives. But let's go back to the tornado forming over Marion County, Alabama, just southwest of Hamilton in northwestern Alabama. While the Coleman tornado is significant, it is this tornado that would arguably be the worst of the entire super outbreak. This was first noticed by Jason and James Spann at ABC 3340 just after 3 p.m. Interestingly, they stated that they thought there was only one tornado warning, the Coleman tornado, but right at that time, right when they said that, this new tornado warning was issued.
And again, we are not ignoring any other part of the state. This is the only severe storm in our part of Alabama. I take it back. We have a new tornado warning for Lamar and Marion.
God, that's weird.
All right, so what we're going to do, let's go off of the...
Look at the shape of this one as well. It looks like it's got like some other crop. If you look on the right there, it almost looks like another funnel is forming and it's like cutting across it. It's so weird. And the way he just changes it is like, we haven't got any other. Wait a second. Yes, we do.
Image, and let's put me with a radar behind me. This is a new tornado warning for Lamar and Marion counties. It was nice while it lasted.
This is what it was like for the entire super outbreak. There were just tornado warnings cropping up all over the place. There was really never a time to catch your breath. This new tornado initially caused tree damage in the EF1 and EF2 range, but it quickly intensified to an EF4. At this time, a new tornado emergency was issued for Hamilton, but thankfully, it would miss the main part of the city. However, the town of Hackleburg was in its direct path. By the time it actually reached Hackleburg, it was at an EF5 strength with winds over 200 miles per hour. The tornado tore through Hackleburg, destroying close to 75% of it, claiming 18 lives in the process. Unfortunately, this was just
It's a whole town. It's a whole town. Look at that. That's a whole town gone. Look at the destruction on the top right. I don't even know what was there. It's just debris. What was even there before? It reminds me a lot of Joplin, this one. My gosh. It's just nothing. My word.
of it, claiming 18 lives in the process. Unfortunately, this was just the beginning. The tornado was now heading towards the town of Phil Campbell. Around this time, another legendary meteorologist, Dr. Greg Forbes of the Weather Channel, began covering the tornado as it headed towards Phil Campbell. They also issued, for the first time ever, a level 10 out of 10 on the Tornado Condition Index.
We've upped the value to a 10. If you're in northern Alabama, it's a 100% chance that you're going to see a tornado within 50 miles, and they may not be just ordinary.
100% chance you'll see a tornado within 50 miles. If you live in Alabama, you live in this part of Alabama, 100% chance. Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened? Meaning that if you were in Alabama and you stood on like a big hill or a mountain and you looked around in a circle, you would probably see more than one.
Tornadoes, these are destructive, potentially long-lived tornadoes.
The tornado entered the southwest portion of Phil Campbell at EF5 strength. Throughout the town, hundreds of structures, including residential and mobile homes, as well as several churches, were destroyed all the way down to the slabs. Many were seeking refuge in a concrete tornado shelter, but the
thing is, the reason these videos are like so emotional for me is because I can't help but like, I'm one of these people who I always just like, every time I see a picture like that, I just think that's people, man. That's people. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. I got my wife and my kids downstairs right now, happy and playing just like every family there. And then this just rolls into your neighborhood. I feel like it's impossible not to feel scared and heartbroken.
The tornado was so powerful, it actually ripped the roof off the shelter itself. Thankfully, everyone in the shelter survived. However, throughout the Phil Campbell area itself, 21 would lose their lives. A debris ball then formed on radar, showing that the tornado was indeed destructive. Debris balls are not good. That's literally debris in the air being picked up on radar.
And track where that debris ball has been. You see the Phil Campbell area. We had reports of tornado going across Phil Campbell. You saw as it came into Phil Campbell, it's
debris gets picked up by the freaking radar. Debris! Isn't that insane?
Still had that debris ball.
After leaving Phil Campbell, the EF5 mile-wide tornado continued to the northeast, where it would destroy several homes throughout rural Alabama. It would then strike the town of Mount Hope, which saw 5 more fatalities, as well as Hillsboro, where an additional 3 deaths would occur. In Mount Hope, retired WAAY meteorologist Gary
I know this is a random side tangent. Is Hillsboro from a TV show or a movie? Why does that name sound well familiar? Hillsboro. Is it from Scream or something? That sounds really familiar. Sorry for the tangent there, but the second that name was said, I was like, I swear I've heard that somewhere.
saw the tornado approaching from his porch. This is his account on what he witnessed.
It's just covered the entire sky. I've never seen a wall cloud that large. And then I was watching to see if I could see the cone shape, the funnel cloud form under it, and I saw that pretty quick coming over the mountain range over there. And then I started looking for the debris field under it, which would confirm it as a tornado. And then pretty quick, it became evident that there was a huge debris field. And as we survey this spot where the tornado came through, I estimated it to be at least 3/4 of a mile wide.
Since Dobbs was a meteorologist, he was very interested in the terrifying aspects of the tornado. I mean, he's into weather, so he just kept on watching it. Unfortunately, the tornado was heading straight towards him. Dobbs was on the phone and he essentially ran out of time. His last words were, "I gotta go," as the tornado began destroying his house. Somehow he managed to reach an interior closet and miraculously he survived. This is him walking through the wreckage of his home after the event. Finally, after being on
that guy survived. That guy survived. My guy was so fascinated by the tornado that he just stood there watching, like, whoa, that's cool. And it was like, then he was like, oh, wait a second, I should probably go hide. Hid in a closet in that house. There was nothing there. There was nothing there. It's flatter than my carpet, man. Where even was the closet that he survived in? How the hell did that man survive?
Around for an astonishing 1 hour and 45 minutes, the tornado would dissipate. Overall, 71 lives were lost, with over $1 billion worth of damage. The Hackleburg Phil Campbell EF5 tornado is one of the worst and most significant in all tornado history. It's one of the costliest and one of the deadliest in the past few decades. In fact, at the time, it was the deadliest single tornado since 80 were killed in the 1955 Utah, Kansas F5. However, the Joplin EF5 would occur less than a month later, and it would quickly take the title with 158 fatalities. 2011 was a crazy year for tornadoes. The Super Outbreak was now in full swing. Tornadoes were forming all over the place. On the Weather Channel, they have a segment known as The Local on the 8s. It's where they tell you about your local weather, like on every 8, so like 11:08, 11:18, 11:28. Anyway, this is what they had on during the Local on the 8s in Alabama at that time. Look at the number of warnings. And when it's paired with...
Wait, what am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? Are those like, what is that? Are those counties? Are those the red dots?
That music, my goodness. The next major tornado would form at
the music is definitely a bad
in
choice.
Mississippi.
But
a new supercell that
what music are you gonna have? No music would fit that.
had already produced an EF3 tornado earlier began forming yet another tornado 3 miles southwest of Smithville. By the time it reached the town of Smithville, it had strengthened to an EF5 with winds around 205 miles per hour. WTVA News picked up on a very obvious debris ball in their coverage.
Now I will give you your debris ball. This,
there you go.
This is a significant tornado situation moving toward Turon and New Salem. Tornado safe place, and I can't say this often enough. Lowest floor of a sturdy structure. I always say lowest floor of your home. If your home is a mobile home, that's not low enough. Air can get beneath a mobile home, lift it up, and flip it. That's why a mobile home is different than a home that's on a concrete slab or one that's fixed to a foundation.
This tornado was so powerful that it picked up an
lowest, so just get to the lowest possible point inside your house. So if a tornado hit my house right now, then would it be good to like get under my stairs? Is that dangerous? What about if the stairs collapse? I guess if about that concrete on me, would it be better to be in like an open room? I've got like a downstairs bathroom. Would that be like the best bet? Downstairs bathroom, close the door, get in there, you know, grab onto the toilet or something, like something like that.
SUV, and threw it so high in the air it bounced off the Smithville water tower. You can literally see the dent.
What? Wait, hold on. What?
SUV and threw it. This tornado was so powerful that it picked up an SUV and threw it so high in the air it bounced off the Smithville water tower. You can literally
I've always
see
said TV. He said SUV, a car.
Incredible. While Smithville is a pretty small town, the tornado still managed to claim 23 lives. Overall, the tornado lasted 41 minutes and dissipated at 4:23. Now, thankfully, so far during this outbreak, only smaller towns have been impacted by tornadoes. The major population centers had been mostly untouched. Well, that was about to change when a new supercell developed southwest of Tuscaloosa at 4:40 in the afternoon. Back at ABC 3340, James and Jason noticed the potential threat.
We've got two circulations right here. Number one, number two. This is the circulation that is riding now the north bank of the Sipsey River, coming up toward the community of Benevola, which is in Pickens County, and that's going to be moving up into Tuscaloosa County, maybe affecting Buell and Coker and Elrod. The dominant circulation, more than likely, it's the southern storm because it's taking all of the good inflow away from this one, but both of them are dangerous. But the southern storm is going to be doing the same thing. These are parallel tracks.
One of the ABC affiliate storm chasers, John Oldshoe, confirmed the tornado was indeed on the ground heading towards Tuscaloosa.
Play-by-play there, and we're going to take a look at Oldshoe's live stream too.
All right, goodness gracious. All right, tell you what, let's take John's live stream on the MacBook Pro here in the weather office. That is a large wedge tornado.
Well, James, this is Dr. Tim Coleman. It's a multiple vortex tornado also.
Okay, and again, I want to be sure people listening and watching understand. You are watching a large tornado that is approaching Tuscaloosa.
This video shows the tornado still 30 minutes away from Tuscaloosa.
That's your classic, isn't it? Look at that thing, man. It looks like something from a fucking picture book. If you were going to look at like your classic tornado, some of the other ones we've seen so far haven't looked anything like this. This is a monster. Look at that one, man. Look at that. Look at that shot, by the way. You've got the line of trees, you've got like this clear sky, and then just this beast just looming over there, like some kind of giant creature just crawling out of a fucking forest.
And many who lived in Tuscaloosa at the time didn't take the threat seriously until they saw John's footage. They could see that there was a monster heading straight towards them. And by the way, James Spann credits John's footage for saving many lives that day. It's what was needed to have the people of Tuscaloosa take the threat seriously. Around this time, a new tornado emergency was issued for the city by the National Weather Service.
It's funny how many of these poor people, like, for them, it's just so normal that they don't even think about this thing. Like, I imagine you guys, like, get alerts all the time. So when something like this happens, you're just like, yeah, and then just don't take it seriously. And then you see that, I'm not like saying you should or you shouldn't or whatever. I don't live where you are. Like, I don't even know what I'd do. But it is just scary.
The tornado continued creeping towards Tuscaloosa, and the meteorologist at ABC 3340 put up the Skycam pointed in the direction of the tornado.
So again, everybody in Tuscaloosa should just be shutting down. And I guess we can't see anything on the Skycam, Jason, from Tuscaloosa because rain's going to be blocking, because we got rain falling up here.
We're looking right into the core of rain and hail that'll come into Tuscaloosa, but
they sat there and just waited for it to make its appearance.
Is that it? Is that it? Can I see it there? You can see like gaps on the side. Is that it? The thing is huge. Is that actually it?
And just after 5, a fuzzy tornado shape began to appear.
But I think there is a tornado right in there. You can see where the cursor is going. It looks like there's debris.
There's debris down there. There's clearly debris.
There's a debris.
As the tornado became more obvious, James Spann, for the first time in hours, was speechless.
All right, look at the debris. Look at the debris in that. Zoom in tighter, Jason, if we can go in tighter. Look at that. Goodness gracious. This will be a day that will go down in state history. And all you can do is pray for those people.
And all you can do is pray. That has become a very famous quote from this outbreak. And it wasn't just James and Jason at ABC.
That's what makes this all so terrifying. There's like nothing you can do. It's just so devastating. These things just appear and that's it. Pray. Nothing you can do, just pray. It's there. Can't get in your car, lift it up. It's too dangerous. Get in your house, find somewhere safe, and pray. Oh, man. That one got me a little bit there.
3340, the CBS affiliate WIAT also filmed the tornado as it crossed into the city.
Power flashes going on with it as well. Folks, this is a violent tornado. This is really violent. Okay, look at that. There's the tornado. It's now moving right up I-20.
Oh my
This is Skyland Boulevard. You see something like this out on the Great Plains, the Central Plains.
The tornado maintained EF4 strength as it tore through southeastern Tuscaloosa near Skyland Boulevard. Some of the most impacted structures included Rosedale Court, where 5 lives were lost, as well as Charleston Square, where 2 University of Alabama students lost their lives. Overall, the tornado would claim 6 University of Alabama students. One famous example is Ashley Harrison. She was the girlfriend of University of Alabama long snapper Carson Tinker. Both of them were inside a closet inside this exact house when the tornado completely destroyed it. Unfortunately, in the process, Ashley Harrison had lost her life. Carson later wrote a book about his experience.
The house isn't there. How did when you see this? And you see these flattened structures, and it's like someone was in there, they're alive. Honestly, how? There's nothing left. How does a person survive that? It's nothing short of a miracle. Gosh, that tornado was terrifying to look at, wasn't it? That was a terrifying monster.
The tornado destroyed the suburb of Alberta City. It damaged the roof of the La Roca nursing home. While the damage wasn't super intense at the nursing home, it created dangerous conditions, leading to residents of the nursing home passing away from exposure in the days following the outbreak. The tornado then crossed into the suburb of Holt, where 2 more lives were lost. Finally, it exited the city of Tuscaloosa. Unfortunately, this tornado was not over. In fact, there was another, even larger city in its path, Birmingham.
No, man, are you kidding me?
After destroying a large line of forests between the 2 cities, the tornado would enter the western-northwestern part of Birmingham around 6 p.m. at high-end EF4 strength. This meant that it had winds near 190 miles per hour. Greg Forbes and company at the Weather Channel covered.
How long was this one down for? It's not going anywhere. It's getting worse. It's going to another city. The fucking thing's on a mission.
Covered the event and managed to capture video of the massive dark cloud shrouding the tornado inside, heading towards the city.
Probably about 50 miles an hour. It looks like it's going to pass to the north of downtown. Again, a tornado emergency now in effect for Birmingham, Alabama, Greg.
Yeah, and look how wide that is. It's filling the entire camera screen. So this is either one very, very large tornado or more likely a combination of just the whole rotating parent wall cloud.
The Skycam footage is terrifying.
It is utterly terrifying. That's one of the scariest images we've seen reacting to tornado videos, by the way. That is a wall of death the size of the city. Obviously, it's not the tornado's size, but the fact that its winds are strong enough to create a wall that long, a vortex wrapped around it like that, that is, you can't even see it. That is terrifying.
The tornado is obscured by rain and debris, so it's hard to make out exactly where it is. Some have even argued that this may be a true mega wedge tornado. This is when the wall cloud itself reaches the ground. An ultra rare and dangerous event. Either way, everyone knew that this system had just left a path of destruction in Tuscaloosa, so they knew the tornado was in there somewhere. And it was. The tornado traveled through the northwestern section of Birmingham, killing 20 people and causing devastating damage to the suburbs of Concord, Pleasant Grove, and McDonald Chapel. Finally, after an hour in—
I gotta say, to all of you Americans watching this who go through this shit, you are damn superhuman. You see thousands of homes destroyed, cars gone, trees devastated. And I know I don't mean this to sound insensitive at all, but the fact that you hear like 20 people died, I'm always shocked that the number isn't more. I don't know how any of you survived this. I really don't. There's nothing left of your home.
30 minutes, the tornado dissipated north of the city. Throughout its entire lifespan, 64 people lost their lives, and $2.5 billion worth of damage had occurred. It was the costliest tornado of all time, until Joplin on May 22nd, less than a month later. The tornado officially has a rating of EF4,
How many
with wind
records
speeds
were
near
broken in
195 miles
2011?
per hour. However, many have argued that it was actually an EF5, with winds over 200 miles per hour. Many EF4 tornadoes from this outbreak, by the way, many have argued were actually EF5s. At this point, already over 100 tornadoes of various sizes and strengths had torn through the southeastern United States, mostly in Alabama and Mississippi, but also in parts of Tennessee and Georgia. In fact, there was even a tornado reported in Indiana. But the day wasn't over yet. 5 minutes after the Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado dissipated, a new tornado formed at 6:19 p.m. from a supercell in northeast Alabama. This tornado initially maintained EF3 strength as a
We've got an EF4 and an EF5. Every tornado's huge, by the way. It's not like, oh, there's an EF1. They're all as big as you can get.
devastated the communities of Lakeside and Fife. The tornado then, however, grew to over a mile wide as it approached the town of Rainsville. It also, at this time, reached EF5 intensity with wind speeds around 200 miles per hour. The tornado tragically struck the city where it took the lives of 25 people. This makes this tornado one of the deadlier tornadoes of the entire outbreak. After being on the ground for 36 minutes, this tornado finally dissipated over Georgia. In some ways, this tornado, like the Philadelphia, Mississippi EF5 we talked about earlier, has also become forgotten because of all the other major tornado events that had occurred earlier in the day.
It's insane to think that there were so many tornadoes and so much destruction, so much death on this single day that EF5 tornadoes get forgotten about. EF5, the biggest you can get. People are like, oh yeah, that one did happen. How?
Thankfully, though, this would be the last EF5 rated tornado of the storm. This same supercell would go on to produce another high-end EF4 tornado at 7:15 that struck the community of Ringgold, Georgia. It was in Ringgold that 20 more fatalities occurred. It was also getting dark around this time. So, like I said earlier,
it must be so dangerous when they hit like trees and forests, right? Because it just blasts wood everywhere.
Tornadoes were becoming more and more dangerous. Thankfully, the favorable atmospheric conditions for tornadoes were beginning to weaken.
There are no tornado warnings in Alabama for the first time in I don't know when.
In fact, the very last EF4 of the event occurred just after 8 p.m. when another somewhat forgotten EF4 struck lakeside cabins surrounding Lake Martin in Alabama, claiming 7 lives in the process. From 8 until close to midnight, various EF3s and dozens of weaker EF0s through EF2s formed over the states of Tennessee, Georgia, and Virginia. But thankfully, the 2011 Super Outbreak was for the most part over. Let's have a look at some satellite imagery from that day. Here's the first line of storms that happened in the middle of the night. And here is the main wave with tons of supercells popping up all over the place. Let's also take a look at the radar imagery as well as the various tornado warnings that were reported throughout the day. Insanity. Overall, there were at least 368 tornadoes throughout the
Were there EF2s up near New York? There's EF1s and EF2s up Ohio, well, Pennsylvania. Over 300 tornadoes, man. A whole day. Look at fucking hell. It's like hell on earth, isn't it? A whole day.
Outbreak, making it the
Did you see that
largest tornado
video?
outbreak on record. It was indeed the first super tornado outbreak since 1974. 324 lives were lost. Adjusted for 2025 inflation, this event cost $15 billion in damage, making it the costliest outbreak in history. There were also major infrastructure damages that left many without power for the weeks during the recovery process. President Barack Obama issued a federal emergency for the state of Alabama, and 2,000 National Guard troops were deployed.
The loss of life has been heartbreaking, especially in Alabama. In a matter of hours, these deadly tornadoes, some of the worst that we've seen in decades, took mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, friends and neighbors, even entire communities. Others are injured, and some are still missing. And in many places, the damage to homes and businesses is nothing short of catastrophic.
He would later visit the damage himself.
This unbelievable storm. We just took a tour, and I've got to say, I've never seen devastation like this.
Many experienced meteorologists were shocked at what they had just witnessed. Like I said, they studied the 1974 super outbreak in school. Many didn't think so.
I don't even know what to say, guys. I don't. There's certain images that I feel like watching these videos just get burned into my head. That blanket of sky and that footage where it was just flashing up all the tornadoes as they just roll across the land. Just all those tornadoes that we know what they look like and we know what they do. Just a wall of death just crossing America. Just I mean, even he said it. It's insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Such an outbreak
Ever.
would happen in their lives.
The 1974 outbreak, I was still in high school. I was not doing this for a living, so I technically did not work that. I worked it as a volunteer, but in my career, I would say this is the one day this has happened, and I started doing this here in 1979. So don't be afraid of storms. This is what we experience today is probably a generational type event.
Now, today's meteorology students, they study this event, as well as the 1974 super outbreak, but they studied this event probably more so than that outbreak. And speaking of meteorology students, major shout out to the National Weather Service for doing an impeccable job during this event. I mean, think of all the warnings that they had to issue, all the watches. I mean, we're not just talking about tornado warnings, we're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings.
I mean, lives are on the line with these people, with their jobs. They're there. Everything they say, someone could live or die. It's such an important job. So yeah, huge shout out to those amazing people, man. Because if you're in your home and this is going on, you're watching and listening to them, your life is in their hands.
Flood warnings. I mean, there was snow happening during this outbreak way up north. So shout out to the National Weather Service, as well as the various TV personalities that helped keep people safe during this event. Just to emphasize how crazy this event was, I'm on Google Earth. You can literally see the tracks of the tornadoes essentially from space. So if you go back to 2011 in December, see these tracks? those are from the tornadoes from the outbreak. Here's the one that went through Tuscaloosa. Down here is the Lake Martin tornado track. And you can tell, so if you go back 1 year, they're gone. And you move forward, there they are. Which is insane. You can see them all over the state. Hey, look at this, right through there. Crazy. And I also found this remnant. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of different examples of this, but during the super outbreak, a house was destroyed right here, and to this day, the remnants are still there. I really just want to emphasize the insanity and rarity of this event. Something like this has only really happened twice in recorded history, in 1974 and during this outbreak in 2011. Tornadoes are rare in general throughout the entire planet. While you do get an occasional large tornado in like Europe or China, it's really just North America that gets violent tornadoes on a somewhat regular basis. But an outbreak of violent tornadoes? Almost unheard of. If our planet's geography was like slightly different, an event like this might not even be possible. Think of it this way, in the past 10 years, we've had one EF5 tornado throughout the entire planet. But on this day alone in 2011, there were 4. It was seriously a storm of the century.
Doesn't that just like... Isn't that just the scariest thing ever, man? One day.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Huge shout out Sweegle Studios, man. Huge shout out. Your videos are incredible. I love watching you. I love the content you put together. Ah, man. I don't understand why my reactions... I don't know. I don't even know why they're doing well. I don't get it. Ah, man. I can't not watch these and get emotional. Sometimes I feel silly. I do. I feel silly watching these because I imagine a lot... I don't know, like... I don't know. I just find it like... I just find it sad. I imagine all of these families, all of these people. I imagine them all there and seeing this. The thing is, imagine your kids as well. Like, you as an adult, you see this coming. You can comprehend what it is, what's going on. Can you imagine children seeing this? You imagine being with your family, your kids, like, what's going through their heads when they see this? When you're there and you look and you see this thing, like, your kids are going to be utterly terrified. They're never going to forget that. They'll be scared forever. They just can't comprehend it. And they're the most vulnerable. It's just awful. It is just awful. That satellite image, the Google Maps, Google Earth, just going from year to year and just seeing lines drawn into the earth, visible from space. That is insane. Last 10 years, there's been one EF5. 4 on one day, and the most devastating one ever a month later. 2011, man. Just really sorry, any of you watching this who have ever been affected by these, who've ever had to like experience that fear. Just really sorry. I live an alien life comparatively, so just nothing like that here, man. Thank you for watching my crazy reactions. I hope you guys enjoy them. I might end it there. Oh, let me know what we're checking out next. All right, let me know what you guys want to see next. Make sure you pick ones you want reactions to and let me know. What reaction would you like to see? Have a good day. Shout out Sweegle Studios, and as always, my friends, you will see me in the next